Deep in the Hexenwood, 4 powerful tree spirits fight an endless war to control the forest. Take control of one of these spirits, then engage in a strategic, turn-based battle. By the end, one tree will come to dominate the forest. Are you wise enough to prevail? First, build the forest with however many blinks you'd like, and in any shape you want. The larger the forest, the longer the game will take. Once you're happy with your setup, click any blink to plant your starting trees. Single-click a tree to change its species. There are 4 species of tree, each with a unique color and leaf pattern. Each player should choose a different species of tree and a unique starting position on opposite ends of the forest. Hexenwood is a very flexible game and can be set up in many different ways. For instance, you can begin a game with each player having multiple starting trees, or even with some players having more than others. This can be helpful for players with mismatched skill levels. After you plant your starting trees, double-click any blink to start the game. When mapping is complete, the game begins. Hexenwood is a turn-based game. The board will show which player's turn it is by pulsing their trees. If it is your turn, single-click one of your trees to activate it. Only trees that can make valid moves can be activated. When a tree is activated, the board will display all of the moves it can make. There are 2 ways of moving: spreading and jumping. Unclaimed positions adjacent to your tree will be fully illuminated. If you click it, you will plant a tree in that spot, and you will capture any neighboring trees controlled by the other players. This is the safest way to expand your territory. Unclaimed positions that are 1 space away from your tree will show a bright pattern. If you click one of these blinks, you can jump to that spot. The tree you jumped from will uproot itself and take over the new area, also capturing any neighboring trees controlled by other players. This is a slightly risky way to expand because it leaves holes in your territory. Once you've made your move, the game will automatically move to the next player's turn. If a player has no trees that can make a valid move, their turn will be skipped, and the game will move to the next player. If at any point during the game you wish to restart and go back to setup, triple-click any blink. When no players can make a valid move, or if there is only 1 player remaining with trees in the forest, the game ends. The entire forest will flash white, then reveal the winning player. All trees controlled by the winning player will flash rapidly, and all other blinks will revert to an empty forest floor. Double-click any blink to return to setup mode. Here are some troubleshooting tips for Hexenwood. During setup, if you do not create a starting tree for at least 2 players, mapping will automatically fail. In addition, if you rearrange blinks during the mapping process, it will immediately cancel and return to setup. Importantly, you cannot rearrange the board during gameplay. If a blink is removed from the field, the game will pause and the faces that are missing neighbors will flash. You must return them to their original positions to resume the game. You can also expand your Hexenwood experience with the very first AI blink. By installing Hexenwood AI on 1 or more blinks, you can play against increasingly powerful opponents and practice your Hexenwood strategies. When you are setting up your Hexenwood forest, you should decide which team or teams the AI will be playing as. Double-click the AI blink to change its team color. Select the difficulty of the AI by single-clicking the blink. Click again to cycle through the 3 difficulty levels. Beware, level 3 is very smart. Finally, connect the AI blink to the forest on any edge. This will change their animation from the waiting animation to the connected animation. Just like a human player, the AI will make its move on its turn. While it's calculating its move, it will show a special thinking animation. On a large board, the highest level AI can sometimes take a little bit to make its decision. So don't worry if it takes a little while. As long as the animation is sparkling, it's thinking. One benefit of AI is that you can disconnect and reconnect freely during your turn. You can change its team's color or difficulty level, then reconnect to resume the game. This allows you to increase or decrease the challenge as you play, or even have an AI step in and play for you for a while and take a break. Just like a human player, the AI wins if it can best its opponents in the game. Unlike a human player, it won't taunt you for losing, though it may feel like it after it beats you for the 100th time. The Hexenwood AI is very sophisticated, and because of that, it requires a little bit of special attention. Here are some tips for using the AI safely. First, each team can only have one AI blink at a time. If you have more than one AI blink assigned to the same team, they will send conflicting signals, possibly resulting in invalid moves. Second, do not click the board while the AI is taking its turn. While the AI is thinking, it is possible to click its trees and move for it. This will not break the game, but can potentially cause conflicts in the same way that having two AIs would. Last, only disconnect an AI during another team's turn. If you disconnect it during its turn, you may interrupt a move. This won't produce conflicts, but might require you to finish the AI's turn by completing its move for it.